Good morning, my people, and how are you? So just here to talk about some errors that we women are doing, and then it's affecting us and we are crying why. So I want to talk about concerning marriage. I've realized something that we are doing which is not the right way to do. Yes, and we keep on crying and say, Lord, why this? Lord, why that? But we forget that it is us who are actually putting ourselves in that bondage. So one thing that I want us to talk about is when a man approaches you as a woman of God. So you find that a man approach you as a woman of God. The approach of a man to say, sister, I want to marry you, or sister, are you single? I'm looking for a wife. The first thing to do is to go in prayer, indoors. If you want prayer and fasting, or just prayer, ask the mind of God concerning this. Lord, this man has approached me that he wants to marry me. What are you saying? When we look at the case of the 5 wise women, they prepared themselves with oil. Your oil is prayer. They prepared themselves with oil, waiting for the groom. But what do? A man approach you to say, I want to marry you. The first thing you do, you go to your pastor. Let me say, we go to the servant of God. Who told you God reveal everything to the servant of God? It is not everything that God reveals to servants of God. Just as it is not everything that God reveals to you. So, where in the Bible have you seen the first approach you go to the men of God? You go in prayer. Pray. Ask God, what are you saying? What is the mind of God concerning this proposal that has come? Listen to what God is saying. If that's not your man, God will reveal you. And if God approved that marriage, then you can now introduce your husband to your family and the servant of God. Why? Because that man needs deliverance. Because we carry different spirits. So that man needs deliverance. So that if he has a spiritual wife, he doesn't go in marriage with that spiritual wife. If there is some familiar spirit or idol worshiping somewhere that follows him, he doesn't go with him. That is why we take them to church. But the things we are doing, it is the things that are limiting us to get married. By a man, some of you, it's just a message. A man just approach you, how are you, sister? I'm interested in you. You get that message, you forward to the men of God. What do you want the men of God to do? Did the men of God came to church in church to say, I want to marry my wife? The men of God went in prayer. And God revealed him his wife. Why you also can't do that same thing, same as a man? Why can't you do the same thing? Why don't you go in prayer? That woman that is married to that man of God, she also asked God if truly this is the man that you have given me to marry. And God confirmed. Our first parent is God. That's the first person we must go to ask for permission. To also go and consult if it's the right thing, if it's the right man. Let us stop doing abominable things and then we are complaining. This, I'll come with part 2. Remain blessed. Ciao.